very good evening to you and welcome to the program and the bulletin, the topics just for you. Tonight, activists oppose the appointment of Director of Public Prosecutions Nuruddin Haji as the Director General of the National Intelligence Service (NIS). Also tonight, transportation activities in Isebania disrupted as local residents protesting against insecurity clash with police officers. And for nearly a decade, the name Baragoi in Samburu County has been associated with firearms, bandits, and incidents of cattle rustling.
Alafu akafanua akapigana, alafu akaulua akapigwa jana, akaletwa hospitali, alafu akakufa asubuhi. Tonight, we bring you a bundle of scars to highlight how many residents are compelled to rebuild their lives from scratch after fleeing to seek safety. Good evening. Catherine Zimolo is on the sign language interpretation. I'm yours truly, Stanley Iringita. You can always chime in this particular bulletin on our socials below your screens. Now, first off, former head of state Uhuru Kenyatta is expected to gather expelled officials from his Jubilee party for an organized national delegates conference at Nairobi's Ngong Racecourse on Monday. The preferred venue, the historic Bomas of Kenya, was reported to be unavailable due to scheduled routine maintenance, according to its management. Last week, Revel faction announced the expulsion of Jubilee Party Vice Chair David Murathe and Secretary General Jeremiah Kioni from the party led by Kenyatta. However, East Africa Legislative Assembly MP Kanini Kega stated that there will be no national delegates conference for Jubilee Party members. Mike Kagwongo provides further details on this matter.
Former President Uhuru Kenyatta is expected to chair his Jubilee Party National Delegates Conference Monday, even as wrangle seemed to take a different route after expulsion of Vice Chairperson David Murathe and Secretary General Jeremiah Kioni. Kenyatta, who is legally required to retire as the head of a political party, will be hosting a contentious faction from the former ruling party at Nairobi's Ngong Racecourse.
Our Presidential Retirement Benefit Act is very clear on Section 6 that when a president retires, that you should cease as a former president to hold any position in a political party. We are now 8 months since elections. Mimi nauliza rais wetu ambaye amestaafu. Please respect the Presidential Retirement Benefit Act so that you can lead by the example na wengine wafuate.
Na mimi namuomba former president ambaye mimi nilibaki na yeye tukamshikilia mpaka pale mwisho. Nimuombe kwa heshima, sasa yeye ni mzee, anafaa atulie, akuje polepole, atuofe sisi kama watoto ambao ameacha wadogo advice.
The last minute change of venue despite initial defiance against a letter from Bomas of Kenya came amid a sustained onslaught by the party's lawmakers, having since shifted allegiance to President William Ruto's United Democratic Alliance-led Kenya Kwanza Alliance.
One is to assure Kenyans and Jubilee members that our NDC is as scheduled for Monday, convened by the party leader, Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta. We've had series of meetings over the same.
However, East African Legislative Assembly MP Kanini Kega has said there will be no National Delegates Conference for Jubilee Party members. Kanini, who also claims to be acting Jubilee Party Secretary General, said when the party seeks to convene a meeting, he will send out the information.
Nataka nitangaze nikiwa katibu mkuu wa chama cha Jubilee, kesho hakuna mkutano wa NDC. Tutaitana mkutano wa NDC wakati utafaa.
Kwa hivyo ile waliona kwa gazeti hiyo ni porojo. Wale wataenda mkutano wa Nairobi, hiyo ni mkutano tu ya kisiasa. Tutaitana mkutano, tuko na gavana mmoja tu wetu hapa ambaye ni wa Jubilee, na tutaitana mkutano ya Jubilee halali. na tutaanza mashinani kama tunaenda juu.
The two factions have in recent months locked horns over the party's leadership, with the Kega faction recently kicking out Uhuru as party leader and appointing nominated MP Sabina Chege as his replacement in acting capacity.
But without doubt, one of the things that we want Kenyans who come tomorrow as Monday as delegates to address is the issue of cost of living. You cannot call delegates and fail to address the issues that they have left back home. You're not going to call Kenyans and not talk about this very painful finance bill that is on the table.
In April, Uhuru was forced to visit Jubilee party headquarters in Kileleshwa after a fight erupted between the Kioni and Kega factions, forcing police to intervene. Mike Kagwongo, TV47, Nairobi.
And we'll definitely be keeping tabs on that story tomorrow and giving you the latest on it. Let's focus on something else here. And as the Parliament prepares to grill the Director of Public Prosecutions, Nuruddin Haji, to be the next Director General of the National Intelligence Service, NIS, different civil society organizations under the banner National Integrity Alliance have come out to oppose the move. According to them, Haji has in the past demonstrated gross misconduct while serving as the DPP. This even as the Parliament has invited public memoranda of suitability of Haji.
Various civil society organizations operating under the National Integrity Alliance, NIA, have raised concerns regarding the selection of Nuruddin Haji, the Director of Public Prosecutions, as the Director of the National Intelligence Service, NIS. Transparency International Kenya Executive Director Sheila Masinde expressing doubts that the integrity of Nuruddin Haji, who serves as the public prosecutor.
Chapter 6 of the Constitution of Kenya establishes a high standard for public officers, including those in positions of leadership and authority. It emphasizes the value of integrity, accountability, and ethical conduct, which are essential for upholding the rule of law and ensuring the effective functioning of our democratic institutions.
Additionally, the group has criticized Nuruddin Haji for his perceived lack of impartiality, citing the recent pattern of high-profile corruption cases being withdrawn. These cases include those involving Deputy President Rigathi Gachagua and 9 others, amounting to 7.3 billion Kenyan shillings. Public Service Cabinet Secretary Aisha Jumwa's 19 million shillings, former Kenya Power Managing Director's 400 million shillings, and former Transport CS Engineer Michael Kamau's 33 million shillings.
We call upon Kenyans who share our concerns about the nomination of the Director of Public Prosecution to voice their opinions and join us in demanding accountability and the appointment of a suitable candidate for the critical position of the Director General, National Intelligence Services, NIS, and other public services.
This follows an invitation by the National Assembly Committee on Defense Intelligence and Foreign Relations for public memoranda on the suitability of the public prosecutor before he can appear before the floor on the House to be grilled on the 30th of this month.
If then they end up endorsing him for final appointment, we'll go to court at all levels. So I think we want to use also this case as a test case to ensure there's accountability and there's due diligence, and then moving forward, criminals are not going to be given space in public appointments.
If passed to fill the shoes of retired Major General Colonel Wachira Kameru, Haji will make a return to the National Intelligence Service, where he previously served as the Deputy Director of the County Organized Crime Unit within the National Intelligence Service.
And not to matter security, heavy fighting was reported in Sudan's capital, Khartoum, today, despite the agreement of a temporary 7-day ceasefire between the Sudanese army and rival paramilitary rapid support forces. The ceasefire agreement was signed in Jeddah, Saudi Arabia, while the conflict between the two factions entered its 6th week. The ceasefire is expected to come into effect on Monday. In the past, similar agreements have been violated by the warring factions, although residents remain hopeful that the two generals will uphold the agreement brokered by Saudi Arabia and the United States. Mwege William with more.
Sunday, fighting between Sudan's warring faction erupted in the capital city of Khartoum just hours after a 7-day ceasefire deal was brokered by Saudi Arabia and the United States in Jeddah. The ceasefire, which is set to begin on Monday, marks the first truce signed between both parties involved in a conflict that has been ongoing for over a month, resulting in a dire humanitarian crisis affecting millions of people across the northeast African nation. Previous attempts at truces between Sudan's regular army and the paramilitary rapid support forces have consistently collapsed shortly after they began. As the fighting enters its 6th week, the prospects for a lasting ceasefire remains uncertain. According to the agreement reached by both parties, they have agreed to allow humanitarian assistance, restore essential services, and withdraw troops from crucial public facilities. The new agreement will be supported by a ceasefire monitoring mechanism consisting of 3 representatives from the United States and Saudi Arabia each, as well as 3 representatives from each party involved. This international supported monitoring mechanism aims to ensure the implementation and compliance of the ceasefire. The World Health Organization reports that since the conflict began last month, a devastating toll has been incurred. At least 705 people have lost their lives, while over 5,200 individuals have sustained injuries. Additionally, the number of displaced individuals has surpassed 1 million, with many forced to flee their homes due to the ongoing violence and instability. The United Nations reports that the humanitarian crisis in Sudan has affected a significant portion of the population, with approximately 25 million people, more than half of the country's total population, in need of urgent humanitarian assistance. Moige William, TV.
Moige William, and back home, religious leaders have come out against the government's bid to offer preaching certificates to religious leaders who have not qualified in that profession. University of Nairobi lecturer Dr. Omari Kinyua, a religious leader, said a section of preachers have deceived citizens through extreme religious ideologies and no actions have been taken against them.
Because what we are trying to say, my young friends, whichever university I have forgotten, Kisii University, Masai Mara. Very good, thank you.
And on that note, let's take a short break. We'll be right back with more.
She looks put together.
Experience the captivating story of Cecilia Liu, a woman determined to break through barriers and become the most renowned female doctor of the Ming Dynasty. Forbidden from practicing medicine, Cecilia trains in secret and rises through the ranks, overcoming countless obstacles.
Mr. Tall, what is it that you're looking for?
For the biggest of guests, from politicians to entertainers to content creators to whichever kind of a person you want to think that you'd want to see on the show, this is the place to be. Dr. Funeke tonight.
Each and every Wednesday. My name is DJ Lizney, not your ordinary DJ.
And of course, they call me the eagle himself. Your host, Dr. Funeke, is my name. Of course, every Wednesday at 7:30. See you then. Don't touch.
Make sure to join us.
Tell your landlord as well. Jua unalipia wa parent.
Sikose.
from politics, health, cooking, relationships, and entertainment. Join Linda Alela every weekday from 6 a.m. to 9:30 a.m. only on Morning Cafe.
Your health is not just about going to the hospital. Your health is about prevention, it's about what you eat, it's about where you live. For this reason, the Body Garage Show exists.
The part of the brain that deals with communication.
It's called primary hypertension, which means that we don't find a reason.
For the biggest of guests, from politicians to entertainers to content creators to whichever kind of a person you want to think that you'd want to see on the show, this is the place to be. Dr. Funeke tonight.
Each and every Wednesday. My name is DJ Lizney, not your ordinary DJ.
And of course, they call me the eagle himself. Your host, Dr. Funeke, is my name. Of course, every Wednesday at 7:30. See you then. Don't touch.
Make sure to join us.
Tell your landlord as well. Jua unalipia wa parent.
Sikose.
Hello and welcome to yet another edition of Beyond the Limit. We have not even scratched the surface when it comes to knowledge about disability. Beyond the Limit with me, Zainab Mohammed, every Saturday at 7:30 p.m.
All right, welcome back and thank you for sticking around. Residents of Isebania town in Migori County staged a protest today and blocked the Migori-Isebania road to express their grievances over the rampant insecurity and negligence of the police officers. The residents have reported more than 6 cases of insecurity resulting in the deaths of traders and women, and they blame the police for the incompetence.
Tension erupted in Isebania town, Migori County today following protests by locals decrying the insecurity in the area.
Tunateseka. Maskari kitu cha kwanza wafanyi kazi na yotakikana. Hapa tumeuliwa, mama alikatwa mkono hapa. Mama mboga. Akauliwa akaenda hivyo. Jambazi akashikwa. Jambazi akashikwa akationa 20,000. Akaenda hivyo hivyo. Leo mwangi amelala.
During the demonstrations, residents blocked the main road from Isebania to Migori, disrupting daytime transportation.
Nimeenda mpaka karibu pale polisi. Nikawauliza, jamani leo mnakimbizana na raia. Jana mlikuwa wapi? Sisi wananchi tumeteseka sana Isebania. Mtu yeyote akipata akiinuka kidogo jambazi anakuja naua askari na risasi. Kwani wao marisasi wakikamata mwizi wanamweka ndani, akihonga 20,000 anatoka nje.
Police officers had to use tear gas to disperse protesters.
Nimepigwa tear gas more than 3 times. Kumbe polisi wanajua kushoot, lakini hawezi shoot criminal.
The residents alleged that the security officers in the area have turned a blind eye to the insecurity, which has led to loss of lives.
Kuna visanga 6 vimefanyika Isebania wote. Kabisa. Tuna uchungu sana. Mama zetu wanapigwa. Wakati wa Isebania wana amani.
Last night, a businessman named Mwangi Mugure was shot at his place of work by criminals who fled on motorcycles and crossed the border into the neighboring Tanzania.
Wafanyi biashara walikuwa wameruhusiwa kumiliki bunduki. After that incident, ndio sasa vetting ikasemekana hizo bunduki sio bunduki, msijui ni miti, zirudi kwa serikali. Ndio unaona hii changamoto inakuwa.
The residents are now calling on the government to transfer the police officers in the area.
Kitendo yenye Mwangi amefanywa pale na soje mwenye alikuwa anachunga pale Sambes kimeuma wananchi. kama hatutasaidika hao maskari
tunataka OCS vijana wake wote waende. Sasa tunataka tujue hii serikali itatufikisha wapi. Tunaomba wahamishwe.
Migori County Police Commander Mark Wanjala has stated that investigations into the murder of the businessman has been launched.
Wakora wakiwa 8, 3 wakiwa na AK47, wengine wakiwa armed na crude weapons, waliingia kwa M-Pesa na mfanya biashara moja na hoteli inaitwa Sambezi hotel, na wakaweza kujeruhi ile watchman alikuweko, kujaribu kusaidia huyu mfanyabiashara. Huyu mfanyabiashara alipigwa risasi kwa kichwa, akakimbizwa life care Migori, lakini bahati mbaya kufika akawa ameaga.
He also said that tomorrow they are planning to have a joint security meeting by officers from Kenya and Tanzania in a bid to strengthen security at the border.
Wakati watu wanaibiwa masimu, ile pesa mtu inakuwa withdrawn, tunapata kwa ina withdrawn kwa M-Pesa ambayo iko cross.
Reporting for TV47, I'm Violet Auma.
Right, and in the wonderful world of sports, KCB Rugby Football Club was earlier today crowned the champion of the 2023 Rift Rugby Tennis-side tournament after thrashing Nakuru RFC 24-10 in the final at the Nakuru Athletics Club. Isaac Njoroge scored a brace of tries and was named the tournament's most valuable player, while Festus Shiasi and Emmanuel Opondo also added tries for the bunkers in the victory. Meanwhile, varsity side Black Blood of Kenyatta University finished third after easing past the counterparts Mean Machine of University of Nairobi with scores of 17-10 the third place playoff match. Speaking after the tournament, KCB RFC head coach Andrea Monde expressed his excitement over lifting the title as he lauded his players for putting in the brilliant performance.
I think they've done well. Winning is not something that we just come out and do, because they came out, worked very hard as a team, and they backed themselves, and now they're winners. So it's just a matter of building and making it a habit of winning every time they play. So that's how we build the character and everything that is coming through the hard work they're doing. I think we are picking ourselves because it's good that we are winning. You know, winning is a habit. So if they're able to make it a master and do it every time they play, it will be a plus for us, and we'll have a good team to be able to present us.
Now to matters football, Kisumu All Starlets continue to struggle in the 2022-2023 FKF Women Premier League season after falling to a 3-1 defeat at the hands of Zitex Sparks to remain in the relegation zone on 23 points. The match that was played at the James Cambridge grounds in Nairobi saw Zitex Sparks scoring the goals in quick succession to take the lead, however remained 7th on the league standings on 29 points. Speaking after the match, Zitex Sparks head coach Bernard Kitolo stated that the match was tough on his players since Kisumu All Starlets played with determination to avoid the relegation zone. However, adding that they capitalized on the mistakes and found the fall was scoring goals against their tough opponents.
Game ya leo imekuwa ni game ya pressure sana, manake Kisumu si kutarajia wacheze vile wamecheza. Wamecheza kama finali, ilikuwa kama finali, na tangu kitambo pia Kisumu ni timu poa. Niko na heshima mingi sana na wao. Wao hucheza poa, but kama huwezi kuwa tactical huwezi funga Kisumu, manake waki win ball awapuri wanatoka na ndogo. So imekuwa ni focus yangu kwa mazoezi hii wiki, nimetrain pressing. So walikuwa wakianza kupiga hizo za ndogo, tunawapress. Tumepata chances zao mingi sana. In fact, wanataka washukuru goalkeeper wao, maana ametoa mingi.
Game ilikuwa 50-50 before we concede. Makosa tu kidogo and we lost the game. Yes. Saa hizi mnaona tunasemanga calculate FC. Hapa pali niko na goja kuona matokeo ya Bunyore na Trans Nzoia venye itakuwa, and then mimi nijipigie hesabu because my next game ni Trans Nzoia. Yes. So niko kwa calculator.
Right, on that note, we take a short break. We'll be coming back with our special feature in Baragoi by Sharon Baranga. Stick around for that.
For the biggest of guests, from politicians to entertainers to content creators to whichever kind of a person you want to think that you'd want to see on the show, this is the place to be. Dr. Funike tonight.
Each and every Wednesday. My name is DJ Listening, not your ordinary DJ.
And of course, they call me the eagle himself. Your host, Dr. Funike, is my name. Of course, every Wednesday at 7:30. See you then. Don't touch.
Make sure to join us.
Tell your landlord as well.
We have fiber mattresses, spring mattresses, and we have foam mattresses.
Monday, 6:30 p.m.
As you enter a new phase of life, you may seem lost until you discover the passion within.
I'm happy that MKU decided to open a branch in Malindi to make work easier for those parents who have never been away from their kids or children.
That's all the equipment that I need to study and all the facilities that I need.
We have one of the most beautiful and ultra-modern structure.
Join us at Mount Kenya University and Equip Africa Institute Malindi Odell Center to build your future. Intake in April for electronic learning and May for distance learning. Mount Kenya University.
Unlocking infinite possibilities.
Karibuni.
Mount Kenya.
But I know that meat looks tender, but maybe not so much when your chest is burning. Remember what happened the last time? Hey, dude, you don't listen, man. Are you testing yourself? I tried looking out for you, bro. Hey, you see now? How's the heartburn? Look now, it's burning.
Do not hold back in any situation. Eno gets to work on the 6 symptoms of heartburn fast.
You do know you said all of that out loud, right?
If symptoms persist, seek medical advice.
Welcome to the Mwai Kibaki Convention Center, the premier events venue. Our state-of-the-art facilities are designed to meet all your needs, from large-scale conferences to intimate meetings and everything in between. Located in the heart of Thika, the Mwai Kibaki Convention Center offers stunning views of the city skyline and is easily accessible from all major transportation hubs. Our facility features ample parking, free Wi-Fi, advanced audiovisual equipment, and our technical team is always on hand to ensure your event runs smoothly and seamlessly. Don't take our word for it. Make your next event unforgettable at the Mwai Kibaki Convention Center. Contact us today for bookings and reservations. Email multimedia@mku.ac.ke or call us on 0708 212204 or 0727 441733 or 0721 438 629 to learn more about our services and book your event.
Msikilizaji, hatimaye stesheni yenye watangazaji wa haiba kuu Captain Emmanuel Masumbe aka Mr. Mbappe himself imewasili nchini Kenya. Ali Hassan Kauleni, tunavuma
Mkamburi Chigogo,
ni Manucho the Young Gola,
Dr. Funike, Liz Beatrice Maganga,
kwa kishindo
Mama Taifa Eva Mwalili,
naitwa Baruk Mwalimu.
Bwana mimi naitwa Billy Mio Kipenda, kamanda wa hizi shuli.
Na bado
Dio Presenter 001,
the big bad Papa Nasty. Hii imeenda ni ya kutikisa.
Jina langu ni Fred Arocho,
Lucky Heriano,
Edwin Smio, Collins Luswet.
Wewe uchunge bwana, kitu nzito itamaliza wewe.
Radio 47. Haba ndipo.
Sasa sote tuko sawa, nchi moja yenye usawa, tunasonga mbele pamoja. Nobody's left behind. One love, one people, sustainable health for everyone. NHIF inafaidi jamii, strong as one. Strong as one. Usawa ni umoja, usawa ni upendo, afya bora bila ubaguzi. UHC super cover. Usawa ni umoja, usawa ni upendo, afya bora bila ubaguzi. UHC super cover na NHIF.
some 26 minutes past the top of the hour. Thank you for sticking around. Now, for close to a decade now, Baragoi in Samburu County has been synonymous with guns, bandits, and cattle rustling. Many residents decry being left to carry decade-long scars of shame as many are forced to begin their lives afresh after fleeing to safety. Some have deep-seated wounds that others will not want scratched. Here's a special feature on Bundle of Scars with Sharon Baranga.
The beauty of Baragoi in Samburu County is infinite, maybe immortal. To appreciate it in its entirety, one needs time to absorb Nkai's art. Nkai, who is God in the Samburu community dialect, clearly took time when designing this land. Nkai's footprints are visible in each and every piece that completes the collective like a jigsaw puzzle. But in its perfection, there is imperfection. Banditry crept in and disrupted the lives of the communities that knew this place as home. Suddenly, they were on news headlines for lives lost, livelihood stolen, and lives changing drastically. This is Baragoi's Bundle of Scars. For close to a decade now, Baragoi in Samburu County has been synonymous with guns, bandits, and cattle rustling. Many residents here decry being left to carry decade-long scars of shame.
Wakapigana, ya akapigwa mamtali kwa tumbo. Akapigana alafu akaunua akapigwa jara.
Deep-seated wounds that others will not want them scratched.
The goons destroyed the school, they burnt the school. Huyo mtoto alipatikana akiwa ananyonya mama yake. Na mama yake alikuwa hata amekufa.
This is Baragoi's Bundle of Scars. Tom, George and I began our long drive from Nairobi to Samburu County. We embark on this journey unsure of what we will find. After all, Samburu has been in the news about the latest spate of banditry, which has left lives lost and livelihoods stolen. Nonetheless, we are hopeful that we shall find life in Baragoi progressing well.
42 police officers and reservists were killed in the Suguta Valley.
For almost 10 years now, Baragoi has been on the headlines as a result of insecurity. In November 2012, over 40 police officers and reservists were killed in Suguta Valley near Baragoi while on a mission to recover stolen cattle. The news of their deaths spread like bushfire across the country, prompting the then government to act. Fast forward to 2023, life is gradually returning to normalcy within Baragoi town. Though there is tension within the town, we are told that communities here do not mingle freely. Our first stop is at Nalingangor Primary School. This school has been home to a number of children who have been left orphans. It has also hosted learners and teachers from Kawap Primary School that was run down by bandits. Daniel Kuwom, the head teacher of Nalingangor Primary, says insecurity has been part and parcel of their story since 1996.
Endelea kutoka wakati huo. Ilikuwa ni mambo ya wizi ya wanyama, wizi ya wanyama uko nje. Na kwa hakika watu wengi wamepoteza maisha kwa sababu ya mambo ya insecurity. Pia watu wengi wamepoteza mali kwa sababu ya mambo ya insecurity. Shule nyingi sana zimefungwa kwa sababu ya mambo ya insecurity. Kumekuwa na shida nyingi. Sasa baadaye imeaffect hata mambo ya maendeleo ya watu mpaka hata katika maeneo yetu ya town hii ambayo tunaishi. Kuna pia towns nyingi ambazo zimefungwa kwa sababu ya mambo ya insecurity. Wanafunzi wangu wengi wameathirika. Moja, wengi at least majority wamepoteza wazazi. Wengi wamepoteza wazazi. Ukiona wengi ya wanafunzi ambao wako kwa hii shule, in fact karibu 20% either amepoteza wazazi wote wawili ama mzazi mmoja ama amepoteza ndugu ama yani relative kutokana na hii hali ya mambo ya insecurity. Wengine wao pia wamehama katika makazi ambao walikuwa wanaishi. Kama sasa wale ambao walikuwa Sharda waliadhiriwa na sasa hawaishi huko. Kuna wale walikuwa wanaishi pengine maeneo kama Kawap, sasa hawako huko. Kwa hivyo hawako katika makao ambao walikuwa wanaishi. So wamekuwa displaced na sasa wamehamia kwingine. Although ni internally bado ni challenge kubwa kwa hao. Kuna wale pia kuna mmoja kati ya hao ambaye naweza kuidentify ambaye alipigwa risasi. Alikuwa ni mwanafunzi alikuwa ni mchungaji. Lakini baadaye akapigwa risasi, baada ya kupigwa risasi kutibiwa akaletwa hapa. So tukamshughulikia hapa, alikuwa amekatwa mkono. Sasa baadaye tukalete hapa tukaweke boarding na tuliweza kumsaidia mpaka tukamtafutia mambo ya scholarship huko M-Pesa Foundation. Kwa hivyo watoto wameathirika kwa namna mbalimbali. Pia wengi familia imepoteza livelihood kama wanyama ambaye ilikuwa ni tegemeo yao. Kwa hivyo wengine wamekaa na hiyo hali ya umaskini na hata mahitaji hawapati.
The personal stories of children affected by insecurity in Baragoi will definitely shape their future. In their young lives, the children have already experienced trauma that they are forced to live with.
Nilikuwa Yesu kuchule, nikakula alafu nikaenda nyumbani nikakula sopa alafu nikalala. Usiku nikasikia bunduki ikilia. Baba akaamka. After kuamka akakuta watu wakadiana piga ng'ombe. Akaamka akatoa bunduki. Wakapigana yeye akapigwa na mchali kwa tumbo. Sisi hata tukijua yeye amepigwa. Hata sisi tuliambiwa tukakuja tukanyelewa hapa kichwa. Mbese yote si ilipelekwa yote. Katia alitaka kurudi akafuatana. Akapigwa kwa tumbo akabaki akikufa hapo. Alafu watu wengine akaenda akatafuta akakosa. Kasemekana amekuwa saa ile. Baba yangu saa 7 alikuwa kazi. Hapo kasikia bunduki. Hapo akatoka kazi. Akaenda tangu. Sisi tulikuwa nyumbani. Mimi nilikuwa mdogo. Mama alikuwa anibeba. Hapo akasikia bunduki. Akaenda. Alafu akafanua. Akapigana alafu akaulua akapigwa jeraha. Akaletwa hospitali. Alafu akakufa. Asubuhi akapelekwa akachukua Kologeti. Alafu ndugu wake mwingine akapeleka. Alafu tena ndugu wake tena akaulua tena.
Aliumia wapi?
Aliumia hapo kwa hivi.
Alipigwa kwa mabega? Na sasa nani anakulinda?
Mamangu. Mamangu.
Tuko na moja ambaye anaitwa Mbudhian na Kuyo ambayo mama yake alipigwa risasi sehemu ya Charda na akauawa. So baada ya kuuawa huyo mtoto alikuwa mchanga sana. Baada ya mambo ya hizo raids, huyo mtoto alipatikana akiwa ananyonya mama yake. Na mama yake alikuwa hata amekufa. Kwa hivyo akapatikana na alikuwa mtoto mchanga sana. Kwa ako hapa na ako grade 1 saizi. Kwa hivyo huyu mtoto anaishi na nyanya yake na ndio wanang'ang'ana kumsaidia. Tunajua hata wanyama yao zote zilipelekwa na walibaki bila chochote. Kwa hivyo wanaishi hapa na titi na ni mama tu ndio anaweza anawang'ang'ania kuwasaidia. Kuna mwingine ambaye anaitwa pia Loibash, pia hata hiyo ni grade 1. So huyo baba yake pia aliuawa tu hapa tu tena secondary school. Kwa hivyo ni mtoto ambaye anaishi hapa. Kwa hivyo yeye pia alibaki na mama na ndio anamsaidia. Kwa hivyo hata wanyama wao walipelekwa. Watoto wengi hapa kwa sababu wanapopoteza wazazi bila chaka wanabaki na single parent moja. Pengine baba ameaga ama mama ameaga. Kwa hivyo wengi wao wanabaki wakisaidiwa na relatives wao. So kwa sababu hawana mtu mwingine wa kuwasaidia.
Aside from being the head of this school, Kuom also is a father figure to a number of learners who lost their parents to bandits.
Na kama hapa tungekuwa na kitu kama rescue center ambao tukipata cases kama hizi, sababu pengine hata hawa relatives hawako na ile nguvu ya kufanya nini, ya kusaidia hata hawa watoto. Hata hawa ni kustruggle. Na kama tungekuwa hapa na rescue center ambayo watoto kama hawa tunaweza kuwaweka, alafu tuweke initiative na pamoja na serikali, pamoja na government organizations, au wanaweza kuwasaidia hawa watoto na wanaweza kunufaika sana. Tuweze kupata mahitaji ambayo ni ya lazima, na pia tuweze kuwasaidia kwa upande wa elimu. Kwa hivyo hapa shuleni sisi tunawasaidia wale at least wako na shida kidogo, tunaweka hawa kwa boarding session. Tunaweka kama ni wakubwa kiasi, tunaweka hawa kwa boarding session ambayo tunawasaidia kwa mambo ya chakula na kukaa hapa na kusoma. So sasa hiyo ndio vile sisi tunawasaidia. Na pia tunawasaidia wengine wale wanamaliza class 8 na pengine hawana wazazi, tunashirikiana na scholars ama scholarships kutoka NGOs waweze kupata elimu ya miaka minne.
Even though Nalingangor Primary School is seen as a safe haven for communities living around it, the learning institution once became a battleground. Pupils were attacked by bandits.
In fact, shule watu wanapigana hapo. So back around 1 year ago, watu walikuwa wanapigana hapo. Kuna pia katorasi hapa ndani. So unakuta wanapitia karibu na shule hapa, gunshot all over. So the kids are frustrated. Kuna masomo yanakuwa in standstill. So unakuta watu hawana ile akili haijatulia. The dome was shot with bullets, and one kid was also, he was about to be killed. Alikuwa amebeba sahani. Sasa hiyo sahani mwenye alikuwa amebeba alikuwa anatumia kukula nayo usiku, na alikuwa ameweka chakula yake, alikuwa anataka kukula ndio halali. In fact sasa ilipiga sahani, ikatoboa sahani, ikarusha. So the boy akaanguka. So hiyo katika hiyo incident kustuka akafikiria amepigwa risasi. So hiyo kuna ile hizo manini za risasi huwa inapita kama moto. Ilikuwa imempiga kidogo. So kumpeleka hospitali, madaktari waka assess wakasema hapo sawa. Tukafunga boarding in prom 2. Hatukuwa tumetaraji kufunga, lakini mwalimu akasema kwa sababu tuko insecure hapa, we don't have anything to protect the kids, the boys, so let them break home. Waka disperse ndio tukafunga boarding. In fact tulifungula recently juzi. Wakati sasa situation hapa I think imekalm kidogo,
lakini baadaye tukaita OSPD na timu yake na OCS. In fact walikuja, respond very fast, wakakuja tukashughulikia hapa, tukatuliza watoto na wakaendelea kupiga patrol mpaka hata eneo la Natiti Primary huko ng'ambo. Mara nyingi wanafunzi hawako wanasoma huko Natiti, ni kwa sababu ya insecurity. Vita inapiganwa hapo, sasa watoto hawafungui shule. So askari wanaenda, wanashughulikia. Kuna wakati wanashinda hapo the whole day wakilinda wanafunzi. Kwa hivyo naona wanafanya kazi yao.
Education is an integral part for any society that seeks development. In different parts of Samburu, learning has been disrupted as a result of insecurity, which also denies learners one of their fundamental rights as enshrined in the Constitution.
Na baadhi ya shule ambazo zimefungwa na imeathirika kwa sababu ya hii mambo ya insecurity. Moja ni Kawap ambayo iko kwa Nyiro Division, imefungwa na watu walihama karibu zaidi ya miaka 10 zilizopita. So hiyo ni moja. Kuna nyingine ambayo inaitwa Charda Primary School uko karibu Marti, hiyo pia ilifungwa na watu walihama, hakuna saizi watu wanaishi. Kuna nyingine ambayo inaitwa Donyongir huko barabara mbele ya Marti, pia mbele ya Marti, hiyo pia ilifungwa kwa sababu ya mambo ya insecurity. Na wengine hata imewafanya hata watoke from schools. So wame drop kwa sababu sasa wanaenda pengine hata wengine wanaenda kufanya kazi ili waweze kujitafutia.
If Nelson is absent today, we ask ourselves, is Nelson absent today? Yes, he is absent. Now we say the question tag is in he.
Ewoi Michael is a class teacher at Nalingangor Primary School. This was not the first school he was posted to teach by Teachers Service Commission. His first school was Kawap Primary School that is no longer in operation after it was raided by bandits.
It was a normal day, we were in school. Then all of our we had gunshots around. Then we said, what can we do right now? So we decided to tell the kid to run. In fact, the school was one of the battlefield. So they fought in school. Then the students, they ran away. Even the villages, they were burned to ashes. Yes. And the school was demolished. Everything was taken, books. In fact, those days, it was the first week. We received the government books, very new books. It was taken away, all the school furnitures, everything that we had, even our houses. We had mattresses, those things that we used to, our personal things, they were taken. The school was demolished. Mabati zilivunjwa, kila kitu ikapelekwa. Tanks zilitobolewa ya maji ya watoto, kila kitu zilipelekwa. Nowadays, in fact, the whole school located, all the kids, the pupils, they came to this school that 2014. 2014, then they were absorbed here. All the teachers were absorbed. The only teacher was remaining in this school from Kawap. But during that time, for around 2016, we were given letters. That school was shut, and then we were told to remain in this school. So some of the teachers from that school, they were transferred to other schools around this area. Some are in Natiti Primary School, some are in Baragoi right now, some are in the school which was started earlier. Now I'm the only one who's remaining. But now I'm currently a teacher from this school, Alingawar Primary School.
Ewoi took us to Kawap Primary School. With every turn he makes, he remembers how the place was beaming with life, with children running up and down, playing. Along the corridors, he remembers catching up with his colleagues. But now, the school and by extension, the village of Kawap is one of the most isolated places in the country. Walking around, you will see items that help you understand the gravity insecurity has had on this place. A ball made out of socks is still here years later. Structures that were once used as school, health center, and churches show how life was normal here. I am standing right at the pulpit of what used to be Kawap Catholic Church in Baragoi, Samburu County. And this is what has remained of a facility or a structure that used to be a house of worship for hundreds of residents who used to call this place home. I'm going to give you a brief tour of what is currently happening at this place. From the walls, you can see we have bullet holes all over these walls. This is one of the biggest bullet holes I've seen at this place. We also have this other bullet hole. Now this wall has a number of bullet holes, just giving you a clear picture of what really happened at this facility or at this place that people used to call a place of worship. We have empty shells of what used to be seats of congregants who used to come here for mass. Currently, this is the situation that is here. And because this place has not been used for a number of years, from the floors, as you can see, we have nature that has begun reclaiming this space. And now this is the true situation of what is currently happening here.
I spent my early years in Kawap village, and this was a very vibrant village at the time. We had a school that was in that particular area, started by the Catholic Church beyond 1975. That is when the school started. And later in the years, the government came in to bring teachers and also develop the infrastructure in the school. So we had a complete primary school which was serving children all the way to class 8. We also had a small trading center in Kawa, and we had a village, a huge village. And the reason why people loved staying around Kawa was because of the pasture and water, which was which was being provided by a borehole that was dug by the government. But in 2013 August, there was conflict, and that is when Kawap was destroyed. It was unfortunate that the goons destroyed the school, they burnt the school, they burnt the dispensary that was in that area, they burnt the Catholic church that was partnering with the government to bring development in the area, they burnt the village, and they completely destroyed the borehole, and even went away with the machine that was pumping water. And so life became unbearable, and people went looking for better opportunities in other parts of Samburu County. Actually, from that date, from 2013 to date, there are people who are squatting in places like Kilepoi, part of some distance from Baragoi shopping center. And they look forward to days when they can go back to Kawap, because that is a place they've gotten used to, a place they know how to survive in. And so some of them are even experiencing hardship in that particular place they are squatting. We thank God for the current government led by our governor, Latile Lelit. We've had a substantive peace in the area, and this is one of his manifesto to bring peace in Baragoi. And we are so happy for what he has done in a very short time. We've experienced coexistence between our people, and because of that particular problem, there was an interference from other forces where Kawap there was an intention to give Kawap to the KDF. So the resident of Kawap went to court to challenge that decision, and by the grace of God, that decision was turned down by the courts, and the community is now preparing to go back to Kawap. And we are also getting reports from our neighbors, like people living in Nyiro. There's a place called Rongai. They've not been able to access the pasture in Kawap, which was something that they used to access. They are not able to go to Kawap because they don't know who could be hiding in those hills of Kawap, because crooks can take advantage of the fact that there are no people there and come and terrorize people, the neighbors around. So there are reports that they are also hoping that people of Kawap can come back to the village so that life can normalize, they can continue to live together, they can continue to graze their livestock, because there is a lot of pasture in Kawap. But because of that situation that was created by goons, it has not been good to the residents and even to the neighbors. People who lived in Kawap were very wealthy with livestock. And so that was the source of goat meat and beef for Baragoi. And so the economy was so vibrant in Kawap because some traders even came to set their shops in that particular place, because these are people who solely depended on their animals. They would take their livestock to the market in numbers, not a goat or a cow, maybe 20 goats, 3 cows, so that can take them for maybe 3 months or 2 months before they go again and sell some more. So business was booming in Kawap, and we had Somalis coming to trade in Kawap, we had Kikuyus coming to trade in Kawap, and the shopping center was coming up very fast. And I remember one time when I went to look for school fees, I had to go to Kawap to see my relatives there so that they can sell livestock to pay for my fees. Something that I would not get in the Baragoi shopping center. So many traders would take their products and their merchants to Kawap to sell them there, because there was population and there were many consumers in that particular area. So as it is now, there are very few animals that are going to the market from Kawap, and even the people in Kawap have become poor because there is nowhere they can reproduce their livestock. The little that they have, they are confined in one place. So they die there because of drought, and they can't move to Kawap because that was an abandoned land, and crooks would take advantage and terrorize them. There was no water to move to that place. But I'm sure if water is put there by the government, which is something that I believe the governor will be passionate to do, people will go back, life will start again, livestock will increase, and business will start to come back again. But right now, no child goes to Kawab to school because there is no school. And where they are squatting, the school is miles away. So many children, apart from the ECD centers that we have put next to those villages, after that, there is no hope of continuity because there is no primary school nearby. So education has greatly been affected. And we have so many, a lot of illiterate people in the village, so many young people who are illiterate and whose preoccupation is cattle rattling and theft. And so that is how so many things have been affected because of the fact that school was destroyed in Kawab and livelihoods were destroyed in Kawab. Yes. Absolutely. I would love to go back to Kawab someday. Not necessarily to live there, but I know my relatives would go back there. I have a brother who unfortunately didn't go to school, and I'm sure he would love to stay there. So I would definitely go back and visit him in Kawab many times, stay there for a day or 3, just to see how livestock is doing, and also support them in different ways. Putting up an ECD center there would be a priority for me once the community moves back, to partner with other like-minded organizations in the Ministry of Education to revive the school and revive the institution there, and even look forward to putting up a high school through the partnership of the government, and so that there is transition from nursery school to primary to high school. Because before the destruction, students who would finish primary school in Kawab would go out of Kawab, and that posed a lot of challenges because, well, there was no adequate transport, so most of them would walk. I remember I even walked one time from secondary school to Kawab because there was no transport. But it wasn't a bother for us at that time. It was actually fun. About 45 kilometers. We would walk for 45 kilometers, and we would get to Kawab with a lot of fun. We would enjoy the trekking because you get to enjoy the environment. You get to go and rest in some hill, some tree, and then start up all over again. And it was so peaceful. We would walk the Samburu boys and the Turkana boys, and we just go to our villages. So those of us who lived in Kawa would be left there, and our friends who would go further to places like Tum and Nyiro would sojourn in Kawab and go the following day without problems. Yeah, and that is what we would love to see again coming back. And what the county government has done, through the leadership of our governor, we have rangers in most parts of Samburu County. And these rangers are charged with the responsibility of keeping peace, ensuring that nobody goes to attack the other community member. So that is the reason for that calmness. And the central government has also played a role because we have some agencies, multi-agencies in Baragoi, who are dealing with cattle rustling ruthlessly, and we want to encourage them to do that, so that we stamp out people who are hell-bent to terrorize people and cause panic amongst the people and loss of lives. So since that multi-agency plus the partnership of the community with them and the rangers and the support of the county government, this has worked magic. You know, this is a conflict that has been there for over 20 years. And we would love to, if there is a way in which government can even station those people there and open a camp for multi-agency in Baragoi and other warring regions in our country, this cattle rustling and where people are being terrorized will be a past tense. It is unfortunate places like Turkana, Baringo, Kapenguria, or those places are still experiencing this conflict. I would rather multi-agency is put there. Let them live with the people. Let them even dress like us, with shukas, and just pick those crooks out of the community, so that we can live in peace. We are just tired. We've lost so many people. We've lost livelihoods. We've destroyed generations. There are so many children who have not gone to school instead of them making a contribution for their families, the only contribution they are making is going to kill other people. You know, and that is something that we strongly support the government to continue doing and stamp it out completely.
At Bendera village, we meet a community that is internally displaced as a result of insecurity. They are slowly trying to restart their lives, though they bear scars of banditry. Some visible. John Leatoro has been in and out of hospital for 3 years after he was attacked by bandits.
Suku hiyo hata mimi sana suku anaoke hiyo akati wanaona suku hawa suku hiyo mimi napigwa mimi sio kama malisa maganga na hospitali sasa napigwa mimi hapa tu karibu town tu anganyang'anya tu ng'ombe 30 hata malisa hakuna kitu sahihi yuko hapa bili post yuko namna hii hii mabupa tu ng'ombe tu
ikatokea hapa ma
natokea hapa bili
bado kuna maumivu kwa hii mguu
iko hapa hata hii mguu tu si iko tu ni hata hii saa tu kwa nikishika namna hii na simama namna hii naonekana si mzuri.
Mimi pia nimeshambuliwa kwa barabara nikielekea pande la Takwe. Mimi pia ilikuwa ni escort ya gari kuelekea pande la Takwe. Tukamaliza na shughuli zetu kwenye masaa ya jioni, tukurudi nikapatikana kwa milima, nikapatwa na waizi wakanipikia huko pande la Takwe. Siku hiyo sasa wakati wamenipiga pia mawazo yangu sikapotea, sijui mimi niko wapi, sababu wamenifunja hapa kabisa, wakanifunja hapa kama mguu inaenda hivi. Nikarudi Baragoi, siku hiyo wakanipeleka Marala, nikalala Marala speed mpaka Nakuru Memorial. Huko pia nikamaliza, walikuwa wamenipiga mwezi ya pili 2002. Kwa harakati ya hiyo nikamaliza mwezi 2022. Nikamaliza hata basi nikatoka mwezi ya 6. Mwezi ya 6 2022 ndio nikakuja hapa.
Na bado kuna maumivu?
Kabisa, mimi bado mimi nasikia maumivu kabisa, hata sitembei mzuri, nasikia mfupa tu bado. Na bado tena nitarudi tena kwenda hospitali ya Memorial Nakuru. Kwa hivyo kwa harakati ya kiangazi ndio natafuta tu hela kidogo ndio nielekee huko. Sasa alikuwa hata ingekuwa nikienda kitambo, lakini pesa ingekuwa ngumu kutembea kwa sababu ya jilali ng'ombe nakufa nini nakufa. Na pia ninaye watoto wa shule, sasa nikakosa namna ya kuenda hospitali. Sasa nikapata tu kwa Mwenyezi Mungu, nikapata tu pesa kidogo niende. Wachambuzi hao wameharibu maisha yangu. Siku hizi sina nguvu ya kutembea kujifanyia kazi. Maisha yangu sasa imefika hivi. Siku hizi najua kutembea ndio utapata mali. Kwenda kuchunga, kujilimia shamba, sasa hiyo inakuwa ngori. Mimi siku hizi nikiwete. Sasa naomba tu serikali kama iko pale watanisaidia, wanisaidie. Sasa kwa sasa hii usalama hapa Baragoi sio mbaya sasa, lakini kwa zamani ilikuwa mbaya. Kwa sasa hii serikali imeleta wafanyakazi yake ya serikali hapa. Sasa tunaona usalama sasa inakuja juu. Usalama siku hizi inakuja juu kama zamani. Zamani ni mbaya. Siku hizi juzi wakati kwa mchana moja marisasi zinalia siku 3 kwa mchana moja. Hapa ameshambuliwa, mtu ameuliwa. Sasa imekuwa heri. Sasa siku hizi ni safi kwa sababu tunashangaa mwezi imetokea kuanzia tarehe 1 mpaka 30 hakuna vita.
Napika hiyo kila mtu mrisasi. Hata kila mtu natoroka na kimbia. Basi watoto nakimbia. Basi ndani ya watu napika hiyo risasi. Namaliza. Alafu watu wengine na hiyo kijana yuko napika risasi mkono. Lakini kijana nakupa. Sasa ndio hiyo.
Na huyu
yuko nachukua ambuchi.
Katara kabasa muno boy ajiban. No boy na ajiba. No boy na ngana no boss gari ner na didi.
Keje mepita ile. Sema bwana yake
mifugo ilikuwa imeibiwa, wakaenda pamoja na maaskari wakaenda kufuata basi mifugo wakawao.
Kisha na kiyo ndiwi na mkalo na shukunyi. No na kete shukunyi. Neligini yo.
Anasema alimwambia basi wanaenda kati. Alafu wakaenda basi. Sasa wakapata basi habari.
Kati ni kwana mo kita jana ndo sumoi na matai. Nebu na tangana niligi yo aje kumkurata. Tangana na opa ubete lenye. Ege kita kena shida na tara. Ma tarbaya. Kora wasa mun kya ta mukuri kya. Ishinge. Ne dingara suku. Namukuri to kusemi. Angana nage. Ala naga ye yantu kutinna. Na sumi. Na ya saka na nyenda. Na naga ngangana.
Kwa sasa hali ya usalama imeimarika kwa sehemu hii. Wakati huu hatujakuwa na visa yote sasa ya insecurity, ya wizi ya mifugo, au watu kuuawa, au road banditry. Hatujakuwa na any report. Kwa hivyo tunaona hali ya usalama iko shwari wakati huu. Mifugo au mali ya watu ilipotea mingi na haikukuwa inarudi, lakini saa hii mifugo ile kidogo inaibiwa pia inarudi kwa wenyewe. Kwa hivyo hapo saa hii mambo sio mbaya kama vile ilikuwa mbeleni huko. Watu wengi wamepoteza maisha na watu wengi wamepoteza mifugo, na hiyo iliathiri sana watu wengi kwa sehemu hii. Kuna wamama wengi wamewashwa bila mabwana. Kuna pia wazazi wamepoteza watoto yao ile wangetegemea baadaye, na pia mifugo ile wanategemea kwa chakula, kwa sababu watu wa sehemu hii wanategemea sana mifugo kwa maisha yao. Lakini kwa sasa usalama imeimarika. Tumeanzisha operesheni ya kupokonya silaha haramu kwa watu. So serikali sasa inarudisha silaha kwa mikono ya wakora, na pia ile mifugo wakora wameiba, serikali wameweza kurudishia wenyewe. Na pia hali sasa ya watu kuuawa hatujakuwa sasa na hizo incidents, kwa sababu tunajua bunduki ikuwa kwa mkono ya raia ndio inafanya hiyo uhalifu yote. Lakini sasa serikali inafanya juhudi zote kuhakikisha imetoa bunduki haramu kwa raia. Ndio ilikuwa cause kubwa sana yenye ilikuwa inatatiza hali ya usalama sehemu hii.
As the sun sets in Baragoi without a sound of a bullet, residents here have another reason to be thankful for the gift of life and safety, as they hope that the once horrific narrative of their county is gradually changing for the better. Sharon Baranga, TV47 in the county of Samburu.
I thank you for that, Sharon Baranga. Quite a detailed analysis in Baragoi. In case you missed that particular feature